This video will show you exactly how to reprogram your cells for abundance. I'm going to share with you practical ways that you can apply in your own life to reprogram your cells from the inside out so that you really get the reflection you want in life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about how our cells are programmed, how our mind thinks, how our mind really influences our body in a powerful way, and how we can change ourselves by the inside out in order to really get what we want. Now, understand that the way we feel about ourselves, the way we think, influences the cells in our body. And in general, the cells in our body are either contracting or they are expanding. It's going to be one of the two. And when you are feeling sick or when you are feeling depleted of energy, the idea is that what is happening is more of the negative type immune system that we have, more of maybe the cells that we don't prefer to have in our body, like whether it's cancer cells or whether it's the spreading of some type of disease. The idea is that that speeds up, that increases based on our own state of being and how we feel. Now we know this because if we feel like we're in a stressful state, if we feel like we're in some type of survival mode, what happens is that's when our immune system starts to shut down, and that's when things start to not go so good. Now, the idea is that in order to change that, we must increase our state of being. Our state of being is intimately connected with how we feel, and the key to this is understanding first off, what we're putting into our body, how that affects our mind, how that affects how we feel, but also the feeling of abundance, of what we define things to be in our life, and how when we focus on gratitude, it is a game changer. Now, in order to resonate with the desires that you have, you must understand that you must feel the emotion of what you want to have. You must really focus on having and defining things in your life as being conducive to what you want to experience. So in order to do this, what you have to be aware of is how you feel when you do certain activities, how you feel when you're thinking of certain things specifically, and how the meaning you are giving into your life is making you feel. So what I mean by that is you can't have an emotion without first having a belief or a definition about something. Like if I were to give you a neutral idea right now, like the idea of a rainy day, that could be good for one person and not good for another person, or it could be neutral and not mean anything at all. If I gave you and asked you about this word, you know, the word conglomeration or something like that, how does that make you feel? Where you might not understand what the word means, and it's not even a real word, I just made it up, but the idea is there's no meaning under that word, so we're not sure how it makes us feel. But if we're like, oh, that word means infinite love and light, or something like that, then we'd be like, oh, now I feel differently about that word. You see, so the idea is that everything is fundamentally neutral. Now, the cells in our body are also fundamentally neutral, and at a certain level, they are either expanding, they're either giving us the ability to feel a certain way, or they are contracting, they're going within. They are more so kind of not working harmoniously together. So it's going to be one of the two. Now, in order for us to feel more abundant, we have to start to define the things in our life and either allow them to be there or focus on gratitude. As we do that, our state of being will naturally begin to increase and we'll begin to feel better. Now, the first thing I want to propose that you do is that look at the idea of abundance and see what your definitions are about it. Do you think that abundance is only money? That was me for the longest time. But the moment I switched that around, the moment opportunity started to come into my life, that wasn't exactly a one-to-one ratio, that is money, but there are still amazing opportunities. Now, this is something that you can connect to as well and be aware of what your definition of abundance is. Now, my definition of abundance is the ability to have what I want and do what I want when I want to do it. So there's no definition about money in there. There's no definition about anything other than just simply me doing and being the way that I prefer. Now, because I define it that way, I'm able to have a similar type of experience. Now, what I also do is I infuse that with the feeling that I have in knowing that as I feel abundant, as I'm able to notice and have my RAS, the reticular activating system in my brain, focused on what I want to see, because our brain is always focused in the form of pattern recognition, that I focus on things I like. I focus on things that I want to see more of in my life. If there's a negative trait in somebody else, I don't emphasize it and I don't, put it to their attention. What I do is I simply am aware, I allow it to be, and then I focus on what I want. And as I do that, I look for more of that, I see more of that in my daily life. So understand that what science has showed us is that we can powerfully influence the water molecules. You get water molecules, and if you put a certain intention over it with a certain feeling of emotion, it will literally change the molecular structure of that water. Now, this is a famous experiment by Dr. Masaru Emoto, who passed away a couple years ago, and that was what he was famous for, was that experiment that really proved that our thoughts are affecting our reality. And think about this. Our body is over 70% water. And how are we influencing our own body with our thoughts? Now, it's an interesting idea to think about, but let's say majority of the time we are thinking negatively. We are thinking more contractively. We're thinking in form of separation between us and our environment, or us and the experiences in our life. What happens is we are programming ourselves to look for more of that, to resonate with whatever that is. Therefore, we're getting more of that in our life. So the idea and the key to this whole video, I would say, is to start to focus on what you want, to pay attention to what you put into your body, because that intimately affects your energy levels. It intimately affects the way that you feel about yourself. So what I do is I put nutrient-rich, dense foods into my body. I know that there's a correlation between what I put in my body and how my brain works. There's a book by this called The Ultramind Solution by Dr. Mark Hyman that talks all about this. And it's something that's been proven. There's a correlation with what you put into your body and how you feel, with what you put in your body and your health. And if you become more aware of that, you're going to start to take your power back. You're going to be able to powerfully influence your body so that you feel that abundance within you naturally. So redefine what abundance is to you. Understand that as you redefine what that is, and you realize it doesn't have to be just about money, you can see abundance in everything you do. Realize you are always getting an abundance of something. Just what is that something that you are focused on? Maybe you're getting an abundance of lack, right? Which means there really is no lack. You're getting an abundance of what you're focused on, and you see this idea right here can completely transform the way you see abundance by knowing that you always are getting an abundance of something depending on what you're focused on. But what is that something? Because lack can still be something. Because having that belief that you're not good enough could still be an abundance of situations that reflect that. So start to buy into yourself more. Know you are worth it. And if you shift your perspective, you shift everything that stems from it. You shift the beliefs that go from it. You shift the kind of people that you're attracted to, the kind of, synchronicity that happens in your life. And as you do that, everything begins to change. So diet is very important. The more you feel energized, the more you eat nutrient-rich, dense foods, the better your clarity of thinking is, the better you feel about yourself, the more your state of being goes up. And then also focus on abundance, and focus on it from the point of view of pattern recognition of what you're focused on. Know as you focus on things that you prefer, that will powerfully influence you to go in the direction of what you want. Understand that our intention is going to be very powerful with the process. Have an intention to grow. Have an intention for this kind of abundance to come into your life, and you will start to see more of that. Now, you can use a free MP3 meditation that I've created for you guys for absolutely free. You can download it in the description box. You can listen to that before you go to bed. If you want, what you can do is there's a visualization guided part of that. You can visualize yourself with that financial abundance. That'll be something that influences you in a very powerful way, so that as you're going to bed at night, you can think, feel, and act the way that you want in your mind. Create those reference experiences so that you're really able to get what you want. So just know that you are worth it. You can feel abundant with your focus. You can put really high quality food into your body, and as you do that, that affects the cells in your body, which then will allow you to resonate with what you prefer. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and also hit that little notification gear so that you're able to see the daily videos that I do. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.